Up with Dr. Sharon Reese. We are delighted to be with you on today in your home, in your city. Listen, we have a wonderful hot topic for you today. We hope that it blesses you in some way. We want to know, what is it when love is not enough? When love is not enough. First of all, before we dive right into it, we need to find out, what is love? What do we perceive love to be? So, Cam, start with Cam. What is it that you think love is?
Okay, so I've always heard love is not what it says, but love is what it does, right?
Okay.
So I know for a fact that love is an action word. You can say that you love somebody all day, every day. However, you don't truly know that you love somebody or see that someone loves you until they show you, hey, like, I'm gonna fight through this. I'm gonna work hard to make sure that you feel good. I'm actually going to show you that I love you. So that's what love is for me. It's an action word. Please don't come to me saying that you love me and you ain't showing me that you love me. You know
all right. Before we go any further, let's introduce our guest for today. To my right, will you introduce yourself?
Hello, everybody. I am Alicia Brown. It is a pleasure, and I'm excited to be joining on this topic, when love is not enough. And thank you for having me.
We are so delighted to have you here, Alicia. All right. Listen, we also want you to know who they really are, because they are very modest. Alicia she has her own podcast, and Sunshine has her own salon, okay? So look them up. We want to throw that in there, okay? Yeah. So we're talking about when love is not enough. Alicia, what is love to you?
To be honest with you, Cam already stole all of my words. Right. But you know what? They say we learn from repetition, right? So there's nothing wrong with repeating the same things. I totally agree. Love is an action word.
Okay.
Most would say, oh, I feel like I love the person, or I feel like I'm in love. Okay, so because it's a feeling, where's the action?
All right.
You can feel a thing and there won't be an action applied to the feeling. So with that being said, I totally agree that love is more action than it is feeling, because let's put it this way. God shows he loves us. It's not a feeling of him saying, I love you. Everything that he does for us shows us even more that he loves us. So I'm going to go with action. I agree with that. It's an action thing for me.
And I want to add to that feelings are not facts. And because feelings are not facts, we can't always go off what we feel, because I might feel like I love you right now, and then you can do something that will set me off 2 hours from now, and I won't feel like I love you, okay? Let's be real about it. Let's be real. Okay, Sunshine, tell us, what is love to you?
Love is, to me, is unconditional. No matter what you go through, what's happening, what somebody has done, what somebody has said, you still have that feeling, and you're willing to do anything for that person. You're willing to sacrifice for that person. And it's not something that you can just throw out. It's not a word that you should just throw out.
Right.
Because it take, for example, okay, somebody will say love you, and then somebody say I love you. Okay, so if you love me and we're talking, there's a difference to me, because love you is like, okay, well, I kind of got an idea of, feeling something for you, like it's a friendship thing. But when somebody says I love you, I feel like, okay, well, you're professing it to me. You're saying, you're gonna show me that there is love in some kind of way, and like the conversation is different if I say love. Okay, hey girl, love you. Okay, if somebody or if you turn around, or if your spouse or somebody say love you, and then you like, who love me? I used to do my husband, like when we first got together, we first in a relationship, and he was just quick to say, okay, love you. And I said, who love you? And he like, I love you, girl. I love you. You know what I'm saying? But I just feel like it's a difference, and but I just, but he's always shown me, tremendous love. So,
Yeah.
but I just feel like it's a difference. And so when you love someone, show that you love someone. Don't let it just be conditional, and where you feel like I can get something from you. That's
Right,
why I
yeah.
love
right,
you.
right.
No, if I can't provide you with something, or I can't be who you want me to be, and I can't do what you want me to do at a certain time, and then then all of a sudden you ain't got no love for me no more. Like how does that work?
Well, I mean, I love pizza. Okay, I really love pizza, and pizza has no emotions.
Right.
Pizza can't love me back.
Right.
So pizza is not good for me, but I love it. And so we're gonna talk about that. When love is not enough, when love is not good for you. Okay, we're gonna talk about it when we come back. Stay right there.
It's the 10th annual Ladies and Gentlemen in Pink Breast Cancer Awareness Concert happening Sunday, October the 29th at Morris Chapel Baptist Church, located 530 Baptist Avenue, Greenwood, South Carolina. On program, the Dixon Sisters of Belton, South Carolina. Floyd Johnson and the Silver Tones. Purpose of Wear Shows. It's the 10th annual Ladies and Gentlemen in Pink Breast Cancer Awareness Concert. Also on program is the sensational Gospel Eagles, Nancy Henry and the Anointed Voices. Anointed Generation of Asheville, South Carolina. The Anointed Henry Sisters of Belton, South Carolina. And featuring our special guest, the Joy Lights. Our master of ceremony for the evening will be Pastor Timothy Wilkins. Again, it's the 10th annual Ladies and Gentlemen in Pink Breast Cancer Awareness Concert happening Sunday, October the 29th at Morris Chapel Baptist Church, located 530 Baptist Avenue, Greenwood.
So we're back to Brewing It Up. Let me tell you, I can just think, within myself, to myself, about all the toxic relationships that I've been in. And let me tell you something, love is not always enough. And I can go one step further, because a lot of people say, well, love doesn't pay the bills. Love doesn't pay the bills, but paying the bills ain't always love either. Right. Somebody can pay your bills and still beat the heck out of you on a regular basis, and that is not love. I've learned that I can pay my own bills. I don't need anybody to pay my bills. My house is paid for. I can pay everything else on my own, okay? So I don't need you to pay my bills. So that is not love to me. Love to me is when, as everyone on this panel has expressed, when you can show me. It's not just what I feel, it's what you can show me. And so today I want to talk about toxic love. Because love can be toxic.
It can be toxic.
Somebody can actually love you and it still be toxic. You can love somebody and it can be toxic. Has anyone on this panel ever been in a toxic relationship?
Yes. Jesus. I've been trying to forget about it all the time.
I've always said, love me, but don't love me to death. Don't love me to death. Because
don't love me to death.
Don't love me to death.
Has anyone ever loved you to the point that you thought they would kill you?
Yes, I was in an abusive relationship with, my girl's dad years ago, and when I decided that I was, gonna leave because he was abusing me physically, and I had already told him, the next time this happens, because, of course they come back, they do it, they come back crying and, begging, I want my family, I love you, I ain't gonna never do it no more. But I had already told him, I said, if you ever put your hands on me again, I'm gonna leave. And so he went for a while, almost 2 years without touching me, without doing it. But I started noticing that he, when we were having, disagreements and stuff, he would start to jump at me. And so I started to see, and so I kept telling him, look, you starting to go back to old ways. Like, if you put your hands on me, I'm gonna leave you, I'm not gonna come back. So when he did do it, once I got up, I was there, we were talking in the kitchen, I was cooking, before I knew it, he had done body slammed me. I was down on the ground, you know, couldn't breathe. He had cracked my rib cage, and I was struggling for air. And he put a knife to my neck and said, if you, he said, I ought to kill you. I ought to go on and kill you, B, because I know you're gonna leave me anyway.
Wow.
So in my mind at that moment, I was ready to go, because I truly, fully believed that he would, you know, go on and kill me, because he knew that I was serious, and that I was gonna leave if it did happen again. And he had a knife to my neck, and he told me that if I was gonna leave, that he would kill me, because he thought I was gonna leave anyway.
Wow.
And until I started spitting up blood, it scared him, and he called the ambulance and jumped up off of me. And I credit that to be a blessing from God, because that's how things change, and that's why I'm still here today.
Yeah.
Praise God. Praise God. Alicia, have you ever had a toxic relationship?
I have. My previous marriage was an abusive marriage. It was like being married to a stranger.
Yes.
After being married, I didn't even know who he was, and I lost my son behind it. You know, it was one of those that you want to see change, you want to see the difference, and you do everything. It was so toxic to the point where my identity was stripped from me.
Wow.
I became somebody that I didn't even know who that person was when I looked in the mirror, all to try to make peace within the marriage and the relationship, and to try to make him happy, and to try to make it work. And you know, I know the Bible says love covers the multitude of sin, and the saying says you love the mess out of them. But when it gets to a point where you're loving and loving and loving and loving, and it's just getting worse, you're not seeing anything different, it's that conclusion. After I lost my son, I said, okay, give me my key out, Lord, because apparently this is not love. This is not true love. This is not it. And I'll be honest with you though, like, we're no longer married, we're divorced, we went our separate ways, or whatever the case may be. He spent some time in jail and things of that nature. There was things that I had to do, go through the forgiving process, and one of those is I still care for his life.
Yeah.
He had a good job, and I had the choice of throwing him under the bus where he had a felony, or I could lower the charges so he'd still be able to keep his job and live on with his life. I made the choice to allow him to still live his life and have his life despite what we went through. Now we're really good friends because we have a child together, and we both came to the conclusion that we were toxic for one another. So it just, together, we were no good. Us separated, I'm happily married, he has his relationship, but we have the common ground of a child together. We cool, no issues, no problems, but it took some time, because I'll be honest, I was afraid of him.
Yeah.
Of course.
I was truly afraid of him.
Choir Boy Cam, have you ever been in a toxic relationship?
Man, these women out here are toxic.
Wait a minute.
Hold on.
I have definitely been in a toxic relationship. Of course, it wasn't like an abusive type of thing, but men go through that as well.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? But I've definitely been in a toxic relationship.
We want to hear about it.
I'll let you know.
Give us a minute. We'll be right back.
Mac Hardy, come on down to McCormick Tire and Oil. We open Tuesday through Saturday from 7:30 to 5. And we specialize in oil, tires, and brakes, wheel bearings, CV axles. And but military discount is every day. And on the Wednesday we have Senior Citizen Day. So come on down to McCormick Tire and Oil. We got everything you need. Thanks.
And we're back to Brewing It Up. So, Choir Boy Cam, you were saying that women are toxic.
Okay, let's clean it up a little bit. Here's the thing. I feel like women a lot of times can be just as toxic as men. However, we hear all of the stories about, the men being toxic. So yes, I have been in a toxic relationship. it wasn't like an abusive type of relationship as far as physically, but I feel like what women do a lot of times is like this mental type of, you know, toxic thing. You get what I'm saying? It's like, come on, like we can be out here working our tails off, doing everything that we can to provide, do all this different type of stuff, make you feel loved, make you feel good enough, and it's not enough. You know what I'm saying? So it's like constantly I'm breaking my back to make you feel good, but you ain't never gonna be happy. And I feel like it's a toxic type of thing, because what I believe is that in that relationship, it's like you saw the efforts. You knew I was killing it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? However, it's like I'm gonna make you feel like, or I'm gonna have people around me make you feel like that's not good enough, so that you can do more and more and more and more. And after a while, I was like, nah, my peace mean more to me than this daggone relationship. I gotta go. Because at the end of the day, you know, a woman, y'all are prize, y'all are precious, you know what I'm saying? Y'all bring a lot to the table, but me as a man, I bring a lot to the table too.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I ain't just no scallywag out here just doing whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I feel like it's cool for a dude to say that. Nah, I'm that dude. Like, nah, I've tried to set up things to set myself up for success. I'm not all these other random dudes out here. Nah, like I'm bringing something to the table too. So the same way you want me to appreciate you, love you, you need to do the same thing to me and respect me.
Right.
Okay, respect.
Because I'm gonna respect you.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying?
Respect is big.
It's big. It's big.
Well, they say that women want love and men want respect, and those are their love languages. And I don't know if that's true or not.
Nah. I want both. I want both. You know what I'm saying? I feel like men don't talk. Yeah, because you can have both. And I feel like men don't talk about that as much, because we always want to be like hard and, you know, all that different kind of stuff. But nah, love me, baby. Like, I want you to love me. You know what I'm saying? Show me that you love me. Because the truth of the matter is, like, if you ain't, there's another girl over here that will. You know what I'm saying? There's another girl over here that will. So don't waste my time. Like I said, I know I ain't this random dude out here. So there are other women that want to be with me. So if you ain't showing me love, somebody else will. I ain't gonna cheat on you, but I will wipe my hands and move on. You know what I'm saying?
So with you saying that, right? So I definitely feel exactly where you're coming from about that. However, let's look at it on the flip side. Why that female is that way? Because understand, when you get broken pieces, when will love be enough? If she comes to you already broken, and any small sign, anything that looks similar, anything that reminds, it's like, wait a minute, I don't know. Or when you're presenting something that she's never had.
Yeah.
So she don't know, and I'm speaking from experience with my marriage now.
Yeah.
He was coming full circle with that unconditional, I'ma love you when you're good, you're bad, you're ugly, you're pretty, and I was just like, whoa, wait a minute, hold on. When is the beast gonna come out? That was my mindset. Because I had that and continued to have that. So with him, it was like, when is the beast going to come out? So when the beast never came out, it was like, okay, it took time, but he was willing not to give up on me. And although at the time it seemed like love was not good enough and love was just not enough for me, it wasn't that it wasn't enough. It was me understanding that this is a different type of love. This is that kingdom love. This is that unconditional love.
Because love is patient. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, if I love you enough, I'm able to be patient and work with you through those things. You know what I'm saying? Understanding that if you've been transparent with me and saying, hey, like I done been through some stuff, so be patient with me. You know what I'm saying? Be patient with me. But it's like how long are you supposed to be patient? You know what I'm saying? When do we start actually like seeing the light at the end of the tunnel? Do we continue to go through this forever, like through our whole marriage, or when do you actually start trusting me to know that I won't do you like that last dude did? You know what I'm saying?
And it's hard hard when you've been in a relationship like that, because like I said, I didn't find out, he didn't started all this stuff until after we got married. And so, you don't show that, you're not showing that beast at that time. So once I decided to leave him, and I said, Lord, if it's meant for me to be with somebody else, you're gonna have to bring them in my life, and show me, because at that point I was just like, I'm okay with being by myself, because somebody might flip after we get married.
Hold that thought right there. Listen, we gotta pay some bills, but we'll be back.
Tune in to the Quartet Show every Sunday at 8 p.m. with the Godfather Quartet, Brother Corey Johnson, on WCTL Channel 20. Come on and get you some of that good old hand-clapping, foot-stomping music. Again, that's the Quartet Show with the Godfather Quartet, Brother Corey Johnson.
We're back. Listen, all of this kind of hits home for me, and I've been a little quiet during the segment. One thing that you need to know is, if you're in an abusive relationship, get out. If you are in a toxic relationship, get out. That does not have to be your life, okay? I know what it's like to have your head put through a wooden door, and when those things start to happen, you have to understand that you are worth more. Because it'll start to break your self-esteem down.
Yeah.
And you'll start to believe that the actions that are being performed against you are what you are worth, and you are worth so much more than that, okay? And I'm sorry that I went there, but I feel like someone in our viewing audience needs to know, you are worth more.
Yes.
You are worth more. You were saying some things on the break.
Yes. So with my husband now, it took him 3 years. We were friends for 3 years, and within that 3 years, it took him that long because it got to a point I was so poisoned by the toxics of my previous marriage that I became a toxic individual.
Wow.
He met me as a bitter woman, or shall I say a bitter little girl, because I was not yet a full woman. And let me explain when I say that. What I mean is, yes, I had children, yes, I had my own place, but I still wasn't a woman, because the little girl in me, because I had gone through stuff as a little girl, that little girl was still suffering. So within that, my toxins towards him, between the verbiage, and I was good with my tongue, I would cut you with my tongue in a heartbeat. And every now and again, he would just want to hug, and I would punch him, hit him, get away from me, don't touch me, I warned you, because he was giving me something that I never had.
Wow. When we talk about those things and the unfamiliar love that we desire, but we don't know how to receive, that just, I don't know, it resonates in my spirit. Sunshine, talk to us. I see your eyes watering.
I was the way she said that, because, with my husband now, when we got together, I had told him everything that I had been through and everything that I wasn't going to go through again. And it's just amazing to be able to, it took me a while. I had up a shield, trying to protect my peace and everything. But he has always been the exact opposite of what I went through. And he was intentional about that. He's always shown me unconditional, that love, and so for a while I feel like, I was holding back, not letting him get to where he could, where I could accept all that he was giving me, and he just wanted to love me,
Right.
regardless of, but he's always been the exact opposite of, what I went through on purpose. And that meant the world to me, because my prayer was, Lord, if I'm ever gonna be in another serious relationship, you're gonna have to show me who it is, and they're gonna have to be different, completely different from what I want, because I wanted peace. I just wanted peace in my life.
Wow.
Yes.
Peace meant, my peace means
Yes.
everything to me. and to know that I have the peace, that I prayed for, that God, sent me. I don't take it for granted.
Yeah.
And I've tried to make sure that this man knows that I love him in every way possible because of the love, that unconditional love, and the peace that he brought to my life.
Yeah.
The wonderful thing that I can remember, even with Barbara with Cam as a child, in his very first relationship, when it started going south, he opened the door, he ushered her out of the door, he gave her all her things, and he came back in the door and he shut the door and he said, "My peace was gone, but now it's back."
Oh, wow.
It's the truth. No, my peace has always meant so much to me. You know, I've always thought about future. You know what I'm saying? Since I was a young kid, so my peace has always meant so much to me. But I'm grateful to God that in the relationship that I'm in right now, I've been able to express some of the things that I've gone through in the past. She's been able to express to me some of the things that she's gone through in the past. And we've taken that, and I believe that we are just so amazing for each other. And I just thank God. I thank God for her because she adds to my peace. You know what I'm saying? She's not. What?
Hold that thought.
Okay.
We'll be right back. When you get into serious subjects like this. So unfortunately we have to bring the segment to a close, but as we are closing out, Alicia, give us what you have.
So thinking about the topic, when love is not enough. When thinking about this topic, the Lord had gave me this. He said, when love is not enough, is when the conditions are added to the love. What does he mean by that? If we think about it again, God loves us unconditionally. That means there's a separation from the condition, meaning there's no conditioning to it. Whether you love me back or not, I'm still going to love you, regardless. When it gets to a place where there's judgment added to it, there's impatience added to it, there's I ain't got time for you, I ain't fooling with you, or any scenario like that, then it's like, when is love enough?
And going forward, with when love is enough, it's not enough. When you see somebody, or you know somebody that's in a relationship, be mindful and don't be so quick to down them on every decision that they make. Nobody's gonna leave the relationship, a toxic relationship, until they're tired. They're not gonna leave until they are just done with it. So I spoke with someone before, and I said, you have to make up in your mind. Do you want to live your life, the rest of your life crying with this person, or do you want to break it off, decide to live for you, and then know that, or cry just a couple of days or so trying to get over the person? Do you want to cry the rest of your life with them, or do you want to let it go and cry getting over it?
I mean, I feel like after having this conversation, I believe that I've come to the conclusion that love can be enough. You know what I'm saying? I think love can be enough. If I love you enough, I'll be able to. I would want to treat you right. I'll be able to lead and submit, and be quiet when I need to be quiet and speak up when I need to speak up. But also, love is enough to know that I love myself enough to separate myself from anything that is not good for me or that becomes toxic. So I think love is enough. You know what I'm saying? I love you enough that even when we going through hard times financially, that we gonna stick this thing out, we gonna fight through it. You know what I'm saying? I love you enough that even if you can't walk one day, I'm gonna be able to pick you up and take you the way you need to go because I love you that much. So I think love can be enough.
Well, we're getting ready to close, and I just need to say this to you. It doesn't matter what people think about you exiting a relationship.
Exactly.
I was once told by one of my church leaders, if you weren't in the room, it's a rumor. So people are gonna spread rumors of their version of your life, but it doesn't matter because you had to live it and you know what really happened. When it gets to the point where it's hurting you too much to stay, it's okay to say goodbye. So we're closing now. We love you. We appreciate this time that we've had together, but like all good things, this too must come to an end. Thank you for your time on today. We'll see you again.